What's mental health?
He asks all the questions everybody wants to know.
It basically includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being.
You're driving me half out of my mind, you crazy old coat.
It affects how we think, feel, and act.
Oh my God.
Not just that, mental health helps to determine how we handle stress, and other things as humans. The Mind Clinic, a platform where people can talk about issues directly or indirectly on mental health.
Very good morning to you. Now, this month, we're talking about
mental health in the workplace.
Workplace, quite important. I mean, we've talked about the women, we've talked about the men, the youth, and this time we're hitting the workplace.
Everybody in the workplace. Yeah.
So on the show today, quite interesting. I've talked about this before, I think a long time ago, and I think we need to talk about it again. Dealing with people and emotional intelligence. Not too many people understands emotional intelligence. And I'm so glad this morning that we have the CEO Minds and Emotions Center, a certified emotional intelligence practitioner, pharmacist, advanced trainer, anger management professional. Wow, it's not over yet. He's a stress management coach and whole brain optimization trainer. He is he's not a new person to us here at Rhythm 947 Abuja. Of course, like I said, the CEO Minds and Emotions Center, certified emotional intelligence practitioner Isaac Onoja is our guest on the show this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Dana, we're talking about emotional intelligence. Over to you, Chinyerugo.
Great. So let's just go back to the basics. What is emotional intelligence?
Okay, now it's very simple. Emotional intelligence is the blending of thinking and feeling to achieve functional outcomes. So it means we have a thinking part and the feeling part. So if you only feel and you don't have thinking, you are not considered to be emotionally intelligent. And you're still there fuming, and people gather, check the guy out, sir, he's not breathing. Then you say, no, were you not here when I slapped him? See, was it not my hand? Was it not his hand I used to slap him? Right now, the guy is dead. Now, the anger is an emotion, but you did not give it sense by thinking that driving out from Elizabeth with a 2020 Toyota Corolla, that vehicle has a comprehensive insurance, and if there's an accident, there's a dent, what do you need to do? You need to be fixed. Thus, in the fixing equation, where is slapping? So it means you didn't give sense to your emotion of anger. You killed somebody. So you now hear that the case is between you and the Inspector General of Police. Then you'll be wondering, what is this man? No, you have killed a Nigerian. So the state takes up that position to fight you. When you go behind bars, when you go to prison, then your thinking brain comes back to say, hello, we didn't have to slap, we didn't have to fight. You would have just asked for the insurance company to take over and fix this. Because as I speak, insurance companies in Nigeria are having a field day. They're relaxing, collecting money. Because we're not adding thinking. Because you have an accident with your vehicle. It has an insurance. The insurance company is meant to fix it. But we fight. You see them on the road. There's an accident. You see people slapping, hitting, and broken bones and all that from. Then you don't say. That means these people are not emotionally intelligent. Emotional intelligence says, okay, there's an event. I'm angry. But I think. I think. What will be the outcome? It happened to me. I was going to the airport. That was November last year. Before the toll gate, I was just on that queue to pay. Then this lady ran me and just rammed into me from behind. I said, wow. I came down and just checked, looked at the vehicle, there was a dent. I looked at the woman. I asked her, are you okay? She said, yes. I said, okay. I can go? She said, yes. She was just dumbfounded because I knew something must have been going on with her. And I didn't want to complicate it. And I just drove off my leg. Now, if it was somebody else that didn't know what to do, there would have been a battle there. Yes, my car was affected and it's her fault. But looking at the woman, something was wrong. And if I fight, if I try to scream and all that, what would it do? So I just left and I'll get it fixed. So many times we just need to add thinking to our feeling. Once you add thinking, that's emotional intelligence. But feeling, we must feel. And when I try to explain this, the human body, the human being is his brain. You are your brain. All the things people exhibit is they're telling us what's going on within them. And I'm a brain scientist. So I'm doing all this to bring to bear the fact that if people can add thinking to their feeling, things will be better. So to call it, instead of reacting, you respond. Be responsible, not reactive. Human beings are meant to act and not to react. Human beings are meant to respond. Response is positive. Reaction is negative. Reaction is only feeling. Response is feeling plus thinking. So people must understand this. So, and the most profound statement made on the planet Earth was made by a psychiatrist called Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was a survivor of the Nazi war. And he was incarcerated, he was in prison with so many other people, and he got to a point where he would have died, but what kept him alive, he said, this is what kept him alive. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our freedom to make our choice. And in those choices lies our happiness and our growth.
All right then.
A lot of people can respond to, the example that you gave, where a lot of the times we react instead of responding. How can someone know if they're responding or reacting, and how can we even get ourselves to a point where we're able to respond instead of reacting?
Okay, now it's a brain training exercise. And if you want to know anything about responding, it's called the action of P-A-U-S-E. Pause. So, like we say, count emotions from the trigger of the emotion to the activation takes 6 seconds. Any emotion that's more than 6 seconds, you are moving into a mood. So, once you pause it means you give time for the impulse or the message to get to the rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, for processing, then returns to the emotional brain for action. So pause. You say, okay, this man just hit my car. Then you pause. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, he could drive away. And this has happened many times. I've personally had to speak with the VIO fellows one day. A driver, they were trying to stop him, he refused to stop, and they were trying to stand in his way. And I came to the man. I said, sir, do you have a family? He said, yes. Do you have you have people who love you? He said, yes. I said, do you know about safety? He said, yes. I said, did you practice safety right now? This man who is not stopping for you is obviously sick. You try to stand in his way, he will crush you. You will be dead. Yes, he will be arrested. But you're gone. Your loved ones will suffer. You will have a wife, children who look up to you. That's foolishness. Next time, allow the man to go and just trail him. It will take some time, right? To take some money. Now, this guy has want to stop him and he's running away. Take your own vehicle and trail. He will stop somewhere. And start your reading from where you started trailing. Wherever you get him, you do the calculation of the costs of trailing. But you see this statement I've just made? It will take a while. We want quick fix. We want things done now. Now doesn't solve problems. For human beings, fast is slow, but slow is fast. If you want to hurry people, you want to get things. No, humans don't operate that way. So we need to make people realize that if something has happened, you can actually get the best outcome. What's your best response in the worst case scenario? What's your best response? So pause. Once you pause, you take a step back and check. If somebody slaps you, you need to run. You know why you need to run? You know, I hear boys, maybe you're with a girl, fine girl, my girlfriend. Then one guy comes and slaps you. Then you are forming, why will you slap me? I'll slap back because there's one girl. You may be a dead man at the end of that. You know why? The slap is the first step into something that you don't know about. So you run away and save yourself. Let the girl say you are a woman, you're a weak man. You know, women can say all kinds of things to men. Men fight and kill themselves and women stay alive. Don't die like that. See somebody slaps you, don't fight back. You know why? That is a trigger. I know somebody who told me that he went somewhere to slap a man just for him to respond so I can shoot him. I said, why? He said he needs to get that response. That is what will now make him satisfied that it was because validate his action. So you don't have to. Like a woman asks her husband, who do you think you are? Then the man, who is also a very tactical fellow, said, I'm your husband. I'm your husband. And of course, it took her, she wanted next step, isn't it? So she can continue. But the man answered the right way. The husband. And she was dumbfounded. She was caught. Now that emotion was caught in its tracks. So pause. Once you pause, you think, you add your thinking to your feeling. Make a smoothie. You know, if you have banana and mango, and you put it in a blender, and you blend it, that smoothie is no longer banana, is no longer mango. It's a mix of banana and mango. So that's how it is. So pause. It's the most important word in emotional intelligence. Pause. P-A-U-S-E. And the moment you pause, all those impulses, the flooding, we call it flooding of emotions, it goes to the thinking brain. The brain thinks and say, hey, this is going to lead us to something worse. Step back. Then you step back from it.
I think a lot of us don't really understand how powerful our emotions can be and what they can lead us into and what they can make us do. And I'm glad that you talked about pausing and speaking about emotional intelligence. Because if we don't stop and if we don't take that break, we can be very reactive and get ourselves into a lot more trouble, which happens all the time. That's why this conversation is very important, that we need to learn to pause, because if you let your emotions lead you all the time and you don't think things through, you'll find yourself in trouble. So also in dealing with people, which is part of the conversation, we know that stress can be one of those things that prevents us from thinking straight. We just act and we react and we get ourselves in trouble. And stress is in the workplace. And we have to work. We have to make a living. So how do we bring that into the workplace where we are able to manage people, deal with the the workplace demands, the stress, and also be a bit think about things before we react? How do we bring that into the workplace?
Okay, now the concept of stress has been misused in the world. You need stress to stay alive. Now there are two kinds of stress. Eustress, which is beneficial stress, the stress that you get from reading, studying, or to deliver a project. The stress you get from waking up and having your bath and coming to work. Eustress, good beneficial stress. There's what we call distress. Distress is what is not good for you. And distress will cause disease. Now, ease is E-A-S-E. When you add D-I-S to ease, you get dis-ease. It's coming from distress. D-I-S is coming from distress. Once you are in distress, it means you are asking for too much from the store that has little. And you see, what is stress? Now, I carry a bucket of water for a minute, my body will not be stressed. But if I hold on to that water for an hour, I am now I've moved from eustress, which is to support my musculoskeletal system, to distress, which is now causing fatigue of the muscles because they are not meant to stay up for an hour holding up that weight. So how do we manage this in the workplace? Start early. You know, people like salesmen. If a salesman has a target of 3 million in a month and he doesn't break it down, call it chunking it down. If I have a target of 3 million in a month, if I do 3 million divided by 30, how much is that? That's about 100,000, right? Yes. That means I have to deliver every month, every day, 100,000 naira. If I break it down that way, if in a day I deliver 300,000, it means I've worked for 2 extra days. So I'm gradually, so if you start early, but if I find some salesmen and even workers or people who have targets or projects to deliver, it's at the end, they try to rush, go into this emergency mode. That will distress you. I'm not saying it's not DE stress, it's DIS. It will distress you. It will distress you because you are tapping too much from the store that has little. So once you start early, like in financial management, many people have not started early. Financial management is part of emotional intelligence. If you have not started early in financial management or financial intelligence, you will be a poor person. Nothing can save you. Not even God. You know why? Because money has principles. Finance has principles. If you buy you buy liabilities and not assets, after a while you'll be poor. That means you did not start early to buy assets. The rich men will buy assets early so that the assets will produce and they turn what they get from assets and buy liabilities. The poor man will buy liabilities for a very long time and he will not be able to convert the liabilities to assets because liabilities don't produce assets. So that becomes stressful. Somebody say my salary is small. You earn 30,000 naira. You have worked for 10 years and you are wondering why you have not been promoted. You are not promoted because you have not added anything to yourself. You just sleep, wake up and come to work. Anybody can do that. You have not attended the training for 5,000. You have not done an online course for free. And you want to be promoted. It means that you are creating distress for yourself because you did not start early. So in the workplace, it's about people doing their jobs, meet your target. You know you have to deliver this on Monday. And today is Wednesday. Start early so that you can get it done. Follow the instructions. Don't sign 200,000 when you're meant to sign 100,000. You know there's a temptation. That if I sign one, I've signed 100,000. This one is just 200,000. And the man said he will bring it back, and you went ahead and signed it. Then they now ask for the report, and they saw that you signed 200,000. Then they say, what's the policy on signing? They say, it's 200,000, but sir, he said he's going to bring the money. Now the man did not come. This man now had an accident, and your money is not returned. You are now in. So it's for us to be able to start early. Whenever you start early, I love to drive. I love to travel too. And if I'm traveling, there was this time I go to Lagos. I was driving to Lagos back then. I leave my house as early as 4 a.m. 4 a.m. I'm out. Before it's 6 o'clock, I've done more than 250 kilometers. Before these fellows will wake up, I'm close to my destination. Why? And the engine will be cool. Everywhere, serene. All the animals, all the people will be disturbing on the road are sleeping. And you move early. Once you start things early, things will move. Our country, we are in their situations and problems now because we didn't start early. Our leaders did not start early. Nigeria did not suddenly become 200 million people. In fact, we watched the documentary of 1916. We check Lagos State. Very scanty. But today, that means once we were 1 million, no planning. 2 million, no planning. 3 million, no planning. You cannot continue like that. That's why there's a huge problem right now. Traffic jams, social amenities not available. You can imagine, it's even sad in our city here. Go to our supermarkets around and ask them to use their convenience. You want to wee or something, you'll be shocked. There's no plan for human beings who come to shop to have a place, a decent place to ease themselves. Because somebody did not start early and put that in the plan. So now, if we now go on a campaign now, clean the toilets in the, clean toilets and neat toilets in the supermarket, we start enforcing it. Somebody begins to scream and say, they are stopping, they shut down our supermarket because we don't have this. But we serve the community. We employ 50 people. We did all those talks is coming from somebody not starting early. So in the workplace, we can actually manage stress by starting early, doing things right, and always remember, don't take from the store more than what you are putting in the store.
Okay, so we'd like to find out at a workplace, for some persons who are listening. And by the way, we're getting messages already on WhatsApp. Big shout out to the listeners. Please do keep your messages coming on WhatsApp. 0817-800-0947 in just a moment. We'll throw the phone lines open so you can be part of the conversation. We'd like to find out how emotional intelligence can be improved at the workplace. Okay.
Now, you have what we call in the emotional intelligence competencies, you have what we call the enhancing emotional literacy. The words that you use. I hear Nigerians say, I am not happy with you. I feel bad. I'm not happy is not an emotion. Bad is not an emotion. You must have the vocabulary, the emotional vocabulary to say, I feel angry as I speak with you. Sir, it's better for us to do our work early so that we can go home early. As I speak to you, my son is in the hospital and I feel very angry being here. That's a man who has expressed his emotion. He has said it. I feel what?
Angry.
I am happy. I am excited. I am frustrated. These things, these emotions, you must enhance emotional literacy for people to be able to speak what they feel. Nigerians will say, I feel bad. That's not bad. I feel bad is not an emotion. What are you feeling? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling are you disgusted? Because disgust is an emotion. Disgust is an emotion that if you see disgust anywhere, check out if it's in a relationship, it's a 95% prediction of divorce. Disgust and contempt. If you add disgust and contempt, you now add anger, it comes to what we call scorn. And it shows on the face. I have a certificate in lie detection. So we see that. So when you have people communicating, two people in relationship communicating, I listen. I don't listen to their words only. I have 8 channels I listen to. The body movement and the facial micro expressions. Once I see scorn, I pen it down and I go deep. I find that this relationship, it will take God to keep it. Once you have mixed, and do you know where disgust comes in from? Disgust and contempt is superiority. For instance, if the woman is studying, is reading, is growing mentally, emotionally, the man is not studying. Like many men today, you go to conferences, you go to seminars, you don't find the men. The women are the ones learning. Something will happen in the future very soon. That the women, they are ascending, men are not going up. It will trigger problem. You know why? The thinking frequency of this woman rises and the man is down. When there's frequency disconnect, that's where problems come. People don't fight. It is values that clash. Values clash when you begin to grow mentally. So we say growth process. People should grow together. Grow. You must keep growing. Keep studying. Kazian. The Japanese have a philosophy. Continuous improvement. Kazian. So in relationship, Kazian. In business, Kazian. You must continue to improve. If you don't improve continuously, you leave your spouse. This morning, there was a case of one man, a spare parts dealer who trained one lady, and the lady, after she finished school, she did not marry him. And people were saying the lady is bad. I said, they should ask me.
So what do you think?
She can't cope with the man. Now, he must have sponsored her.
Would you describe that as self-awareness?
Yes, it was.
Because a lot of persons want to say that for you to apply emotional intelligence, it takes self-awareness. Yes, I want you to comment on that so that we can throw the phone lines open.
Self-awareness. That man was not aware of himself. He just saw a beautiful girl, not knowing that the beautiful girl has complexities. As she's growing mentally and he's not growing, she begins to meet those guys that are growing with her. The energy, there's an energy connect. I did a certificate in energy medicine. There's an energy connect that keeps them. If she comes to this man and she's having conversation with this man who is supposedly sponsoring her, there is no energy connect. She's operating at 60 heads. This man operating at 5 heads. There will be a problem. So once she finished and she got married to somebody else, the man, yes, he will be angry, but I want him to add some thinking to his anger. Did he improve himself? He is a secondarian. He has helped this girl, sponsored her to become a BSc holder, a graduate. He can't survive. Even if that girl marries him, there will be a constant war until he grows mentally. These are the issues. I'm a John Gottman couples therapist. In John Gottman, there's what we call the love map. Once you don't meet up with the love map, forget about it. All these people are talking. Say the man, I'm praying for the man, I'm praying for the man. Look, marriage, relationship is 99% earthly. It's only 1% spiritual. So you have to do very earthly things that are here. So self-awareness, once you are aware, see your capacity. I want to marry the president, so it's me now, I'm going to marry the president's daughter because I love beautiful Fulani girls. And I will start. Then he tells me that after marriage, we have to go to Dubai every week. How will I cope? People are attempting suicide. Yes, because they are not aware that, look, we are not in this class. It's not the girl's fault to go to Dubai every week. That is her background. That's her environment. But you struggle to come out of your house every day with one form of transport or the other. So once you are aware, don't deceive yourself. And don't say, no, I'm a man. I'm a man does not solve it.
I wish we had so much time to talk about this. When we talk about self-awareness, it's quite key. It's important. A lot of people say, I know who I am. We even sing the gospel song by Sinach.
Yes, so.
When we're faced with crisis, you now ask, do you really know who you are? Well, without even giving out the phone lines, they're ringing already. Good morning.
God bless the guest this morning.
And God bless you too. Please say your name and location.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
My name is Aki. I'm calling you from Akwanga. Okay. You see, some of us, we don't have this opportunity when we are young. That's why we made a lot of mistakes. And those people now that want to listen to this program, probably they're in Nigeria-based shop. That is why they don't make it. They have said it all. I lecture in ICANN Center. In those days, while we are writing ICANN, out of 50 candidates, when you see 5 female, you clap for them. Today, go to ICANN Center in Abuja. It is women that dominated it. What it means now that in the next 10 years, if you are not careful, women in Nigeria will be the head of home. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Starting early, they have studied it all. When you graduate as a BSc accounting, 5 years down the line, you are working. If I can understand. When that big opportunity will come, and you see an offer, 5 years experience with American certificate, and you don't have it, what happened? Started running up and down. I remember a mate of mine, when we were doing this second in 2001 in Lagos. I don't know what happened. Whether he ran away or not, only for him to come back after 15 years to be writing that kind of Abuja. Let us start. When you start early,
all right, Aki.
You'll have to be better for it. God bless you.
Thank you very much for your call. Your volume, please. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to you. Please say your name, articulate your thoughts in 60 seconds.
Okay, my name is Dennis, and I'm calling from Gorimpa.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I must commend the position your guest took this morning, and it's a wake-up call. And everything he has said, connects with me physically. It straddles different fields. Professionally, you have a situation where
you will want to give preference to some of these guys that are coming in from other parts of the world and may not even have what we have here. And yet, it's a continuous fight. But I've come to understand that it's beyond physical. It's not just a fact. It disconnects mentally.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Hello?
Hello?
Very good morning to you. We'd like to get your name, your location. You have 60 seconds or at a time.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Ebenezer. I'm calling you from Pugwa.
Please go ahead.
I want to appreciate the speaker has spoken very well. But I would like to also point out something that please, I am an insurance advisor.
Okay.
With Leadway Assurance. And honestly, what he said at the beginning of the program, I feel is also part of the reasons why people have not found a way to trust insurance in this country. We go out there every day trying to encourage people to do insurance and make sure they do it right. But if we begin to come on air and begin to talk down...
No, what's your point exactly? Because for a second, I'm trying to make an understanding of what you're saying.
Yeah, in the beginning you mentioned about insurance, talking about emotional intelligence, that people are fighting. People don't know that they can go and claim insurance. How many cars have insurance? That's part of the things you need to check. It's not like insurance don't want to do their work. I'm just saying we should be careful of the things we say because we have a large audience.
But do you see that he was helping you? He was saying that maybe you didn't understand it actually. Because he's saying not too many Nigerians have their cars insured. All right? Because if you do have an insurance and you get into trouble, no need to fight. That's emotional intelligence. That's what he was saying.
He also mentioned that the insurance are having a free day, not knowing what...
Because Nigerians have not insured a lot of their properties, really.
That's it. Maybe you didn't understand me.
Thank you very much for calling. And I really want to have that conversation with an insurance manager because there was a study that showed that just 3 million Nigerians have their properties insured out of our staggering population. 3 million, and so we need to encourage more Nigerians to get into that. But that's not what we're discussing right now. I'll get back to the calls. Let's see if we can squeeze in some messages. Debare Awodoye says, Mr. Onoja, oil day your head, sir. You raised a valid point about toilets in shops and supermarkets. I went to fix my phone in Kuba of recent and I was having a running stomach. I asked the guy, where's the restroom? And he said, for where? I asked, what if the thing holds you? He said, I will use my shop and close the door on myself. What? He goes on, he says, it's so terrible. We're living this kind of life. We'll disperse with some other calls and then we'll come back to the messages again. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your life on air. Tell us your name, your location, and please in 60 seconds.
Mr. Peppo is Ade. Good morning.
All right, Ade, we're glad you're able to call in. We just took your message. Perhaps you want to use 30 seconds now?
Yes. I want to ask Mr. Onoja, what is the factor responsible for a parent to prefer a child to other, or in the other word, to like a child than other? Thank you.
Okay. All right. You like one child over the others. We'll talk about that after we squeeze in this message, and this perhaps will be the last because we're absolutely out of time. Good morning, Purple, and regards to your guest. I guess he said Chierugo and Mr. Onoja. I want to thank your guest in the studio because he changed my perspective to some life issues. In 2015, as guest in the studio, he says, you can be carrying a phone of 100 plus and looking for a job. When there was downsize in my office, I was affected. I had to sell my car to add extra money to buy another one. And that's what made me to start Uber business. Wow, changing lives since 2015.
Wow, that's nice.
I like some of this message. It's quite commendable. But please react really quickly. And we're hoping that we can bring you into the studio again.
Yeah, the man who's talking about preference, the children preference, is about parenting. There's something that child is doing that connects to you. And if you're not smart, if you show it, you might have sibling rivalry, and sometimes it's very dangerous. So that's a parenting talk. That's another talk we can do on parenting, what to do, because we have different connects. Like, you can have two children, you can have a boy and a girl. And the way the girl treats you, or, cares for you. You know, boys, we are just, if we have our games playing, nothing, but the lady, the girl will ask daddy, how are you, have you eaten and all that. There will be that attachment. And if the boy notices that, what's going on here? This lady, and you have to be able to manage them together to know that, yes, there's something you like so much here. Because the truth is, women have energy centers that men don't have, or boys don't have. So when they come into any place, they change the environment, not because they are doing something extraordinary. They just be themselves. And you can have a connection to a child in that way, that if you don't manage it, you can cause sibling rivalry. So it's in you. I can't tell you what is making it. It's what is making it. It's inside you. What you have, your environment you have grown in that before you got those children. So it's a parenting stuff. And for the guy who talked about changing, buying, selling his car and all that, we keep saying this, that the help we need is not outside, it's within. If you look inwards, we'll find help. Emotions, just check, pause. Once you pause and you add thinking to your feeling, things improve. Like Michael, Albert Einstein said, the significant challenges we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. So you have to increase your thinking capacity to be able to solve problems. The problems in Nigeria are solvable, but are the people ready to think? Thomas Edison said, of the 7.2 billion people on the earth, 5% think.
Just 5%.
10% think they are thinking. 85% would rather die than think. Thinking is the most difficult work to do. That's why emotional intelligence is difficult. Adding thinking to feeling. How do you bring thinking into this feeling now? These people have increased tariff. They have increased tariff and we are here palliative. They did not give us. Can you carry that energy of anger and convert it to money? All billionaires are angry people, but they add love to their anger. It becomes passion. We are just let me advise people who are listening. Don't waste your energy. In the whole world now, they're doing energy management, not time management. Time you cannot manage. Energy you can. Manage your energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy, convert it to your own good. These guys there are confused themselves.
Mr. Onoja, we need to bring you again. If you say everything today, we'll bring you the next time. I'm sure, you'll still have some more to say. We must thank you very much for being a part of the show today.
Thank you.
Chinyere Densi, we need to wrap up the conversation, but we need email, phone number, and how we can reach you at Neem Foundation. We sincerely apologize. We cannot take any further calls.
All right. So for you to contact us at Neem Foundation, the number to call is 0706 062 5054. It's 0706 062 5054. Remember that this number is just for psychological support, and that's all we offer.
I must thank our guest in the studio, CEO Minds and Emotions Center, a certified emotional intelligence practitioner, Isaac Onoja. Thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you very much for having me.